Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans. What we do around here is we bring about conversations as it relates to the overall nature of um, the process of everything, and we look at self help, mental and emotional coaching related topics. We do that in an audio format. We've got over 500 audios now available for your listening pleasure and hopefully for your assistance. Today, we're going to kind of talk about making each moment matter, making what you do count. And so, if you are looking to maximize your life, minimize your stress, get to a place in your life where things really are more streamlined and thereby reducing the level of hardship you go through. Certainly, a thing that a lot of us are concerned about coming out of this COVID situation. Then, certainly, I encourage you to reach out with your uh, open heart, open mind, and work with a coach. And I'd be willing and excited to serve you if that opportunity arises. If you're looking for that, there's two ways to do that: at PO Perception on Twitter, and or you can go to the process of just clicking the website link in this page, and this YouTube page in the About Me section, and we can get started that way. In any event, we're going to run through some things here that hopefully will be helpful to you. And I've got, let's see, about six things to run through here. Um, the first is meditation, prayer, whatever spiritual practice you use that in discipline. Focusing your energy, your thoughts, the intention of your being on a daily basis, preferably twice a day. Once in the beginning of the day to get you started, once at the end of the day to close out any negative impact that you've had from conversations or circumstances beyond your control. It's important that you do that. It's essential that you do that. And the failure to do that has long term and short term impacts that people may or may not recognize going forward. So, finding a way to do that in whatever higher self or spiritual practice you use, super, super important. The next is prime yourself for success. So there's emotional priming, which is dealing with your emotions. There's mental priming, which is studying people that are where you want to be in life, more successful. This could be spiritual leaders, this could be thought leaders, this could be people in your industry. And then there's physical priming, being physically active, getting up, changing your physical position, doing some exercise, getting out, changing how you look at the world. And then the next is rise early. So that doesn't necessarily mean get up at 3 in the morning, although it does for some people. But rather than lay in bed or do automatic tasks, text on your phone, or just surf through useless social media, be ready to go with every spare minute you've got. Now, that doesn't mean you can't use, you know, ways to de-stress and kind of distract yourself from time to time. Sometimes it's necessary to do that, but limit it. If it's 15 minutes every 2 hours, that's okay. If it's I wasted the morning on let's say on Facebook, that's not so okay. So make moments matter means if you're going to use something for the benefit of decompression mentally and emotionally, then find a way um, to kind of make sure that it's done in segments so that you can get where you need to be. The next is battle some false truths. Meaning, we all have limiting belief systems, subconsciously, unconsciously, that we deal with on a regular basis. Understand what your weaknesses are in that direction and battle them. Put your mind in a setting that says, you know what? I'm going to acknowledge that I have these weaknesses. I'm going to acknowledge that they're part of my essence, my being, and who I am. And I may get past them much of the time. I may even get by them for a good bit of, several weeks, several months, or a few years. but they can always come back on me. And when they do come back, I have thoughts, I have people to talk to, I have things that I can do to help me battle the things that take me backwards from a subconscious level. The next is self control. Impulse control is so very important in making moments matter. Maybe you're an alcoholic. Maybe you have issues with substance abuse of drugs or prescription pills. Maybe you're a gambler. Maybe you're a consumer of online content like social media. You have some form of addiction. Look at your life and say, is spending time with this thing, is putting this thing in my body, is this behavior becoming of where I want to go? Finding self-control, acknowledging the emotional impact of what you're about to do and what you're going through that's making you consider going down a negative direction is super important. It doesn't necessarily mean you're always going to win. And when you don't win in those situations, and we all have moments where we slip, in all honesty, I just passed my my what year 4 process of not consuming alcohol at any level, and I've been up to 7 years before, but I acknowledge that I could slip at any moment. When I do, I forgive myself. I look at why it happened. The people that beat themselves up are actually more likely to slip again. So if you have an addictive behavior that's not serving you well, acknowledge it exists, acknowledge it's a challenge, find a support group, find somebody to talk to, work it through, but don't let it consume you to the point where it's all you think about, all you work with, because when that has a hold on you, making progress is so much harder on you in general. So, generally speaking, and in the next format, finding a way to get to a good place within yourself is necessary. The next thing in this particular, or the last thing I want to touch on, is find things to be grateful for. But find gratitude in small things, find gratitude in medium things, find gratitude in big things. So, look, something as simple as the sun rose this morning, which is a big thing but a small thing. Duh, who wouldn't expect the sun to rise, but if it didn't, our whole world would be different. And then something medium. I'm really glad for the people in my life. I'm really glad for the people in my life know that I might get to know. I'm really glad for the fact that, COVID numbers are going down. And then really large things. I'm glad to be alive. I'm glad I was interacting with certain members of my family. I'm glad that I had fundamental friendships. The more gratitude you show, and I actually tell people, if you're struggling with anxiety or depression, one of the most valuable things you can do is get to a place where you look at yourself from the 30 days of gratitude. Write down one thing you're grateful for every day. By the end of that month, you'll have a completely different perspective on your life. Hopefully that's helpful. Keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Till next time, everybody.